Columbus was established 90 years ago to serve the surrounding communities. In the 1980s, as social ills and problems worsened, their evangelism became outreach, and they have constantly worked to bring hope and comfort and sometimes joy to the marginalized. We got up early to chat to the soup kitchen volunteers before catching up with the Reverend Martin Young, or Chunky as he's affectionately known.
We usually get here about 10 to 7. Then the water is already boiling, and then we get frozen soup from a restaurant down the street, and we add some dried vegetables and some soup powder, and we just stir it up. They live in the streets, many of them. This is some of them, the only meal that they get. They love the brood, I must say.
Outreach has been going for about 24 years. St. Columbus has 33 outreach projects. It's born out of a commitment that we have to God, to Christ, to the church, to try and bring an aspect of humanity into people's lives who've been forced by circumstance to almost feel dehumanized, to feel raped by society. The wealth that's been generated through the economic empowerment programs has not filtered down to the grassroots people. So what we try to do is fill up the gaps. We've been drawn into so many different communities within our bounds and outside of our borders and even outside of our country's borders to simply try and uplift people and their lifestyles who have absolutely nothing. Education has been an important point for us. We have 4 schools in Zambia, 7 schools in Zimbabwe, and 4 schools in South Africa. But if we fed the children, we would get children to schools. To continue our feeding program was to source the maize here in South Africa. So St. Columbus is now committed to sending 10 tons of maize a month into Zimbabwe. The children can continue to be fed. Our country, especially Zimbabwe, are dependent on non-government organizations. The problem in most rural schools at the moment is the quality of the teachers. We've established a center where teachers can come and get upgrades on their own qualifications. We have group therapy sessions. They meet together to discuss what it's like living with HIV and AIDS. We provide them with high protein and energy foodstuffs. Plus we pay for some of their antiretrovirals.
Bethany is a home built to heal women and their children. The women who come here are victims of violent assault and abuse.
We're able to take up to 50 women and children in this shelter, and we're always at full capacity. This home is strictly for abused women, so it's people who are running from their partners in fear of their lives or just so broken and so beaten and with nowhere else to go. We've had people who've been shot, people who've been kicked half to death, a lot of incest, a lot of rape in their lives. Very few come here physically abused without being sexually abused and emotionally abused at the same time. The abuse, unfortunately, in the city is huge. It's enormous. It's just, and it's very, very cruel, and it's awful for the kids to see. Unfortunately, we seem to have lost our values, our morals. There's a huge amount of unemployment. I think the men get very frustrated. They get angry. They grow up with a mom who's trying to do it all on her own. They don't have a male role model. The poorer people have domestic jobs, which are the lowest paid in this country. They normally arrive with the clothes on their back. They come with their kids. We actually put their kids into school. We've got a creche, Little Saints Preschool.
Little Saints is a community project. It's childcare for the people living in the area. We have quite a lot of single mothers and single fathers, and so children need to be taken care of. We have 104 children. In our area, it's not just an economic problem. There's also a lot of alcohol abuse and drug abuse. So you have to deal with the children. Even this week we had a father come in. He had been at the police station since 3:30 in the morning, having the mother locked up because she was so out of control, and then brought the children to the creche to spend the day in safety. Basically, it's a school readiness program. So you're teaching the child life skills, there's the education, there's the whole thing involved. When they go to school, they do really well at school. And St. Columba's gives us a regular donation every month, which has been fantastic. For example, when we took in new babies, we were able then to use that money to go and purchase some new cots.
So we get the kids into school, we get the protection order, we get the kids organised to have counselling if need be, and then we do intensive counselling with the ladies here. Once they're vaguely stable, then we actually find out where their skills lie. We do home care nursing, security, receptionists. We give them all computer skills. We find them all jobs, and then we find them accommodation. And the end result is we actually give them a bed, a pot, a pan, 4 cups, plates and saucers, and send them out. And then they come back and they phone and they say, I've got a surprise for you, and they arrive with their car and their job, and it's lovely. St. Columba's helps us every year. They give us a monthly donation. They also help us show our craft. You know, at every available opportunity, Bethany's always on their list to give stuff to.
I was married for 10 years. My husband used to abuse me, used to hit me, kick me. I was 3 months pregnant with twins. He came home, he hit me on my stomach, he hit me with a tool for the car, he hit me on my head, and then he punched me, kicked me on my stomach, he hit me against the wall. I fainted, and then I woke up in hospital actually after 2 days. Fortunately the babies were okay, but now when the puppies were born, I noticed that one of the boys is mentally retarded because of the kicking and the beatings. That's when I met Bridget Edwards, who is a social worker at Bethany. It took a lot of crying, a lot of tears, lot of therapy. You know, I used to write things down, I used to punch the pillows, you know, for me to get over the abuse. Yeah, it really helped me. It helped me like with the therapy, the healing part of it, and also with helping me to further my studies. And since then, since 2002 until now, yes, I work at Little Saints Preschool.
We love them. We're very determined in our home that if you enter our gates, you will leave a success.
The Coronation Children's Hospital treats and largely heals about 250 children at any one time, from the tiniest premature babies through to teenagers.
This is a pediatric ward. A lot of children are from disadvantaged backgrounds, so like there's things that perhaps the parents can't afford for their kids, basic necessities like clothing and so forth. And the outreach does provide quite a bit for our kids here in the ward, and we really do appreciate it. Easter time, Christmas time, they're always bringing happiness to the ward for the kids that are here. It's always a pleasure to have them, giving them toys and sweets and goodies.
Kangaroo ward is all about mother care in the kangaroo style. Baby is strapped onto the mother, directly onto her chest, between the 2 breasts, and baby is kept there. It's been kept warm, it keeps its temperature all the time, and heartbeat is regular all the time, whereas in the incubator it's irregular and temperature changes from time to time.
We normally get fabric donations or anything we get, and we make the pouches here at the hospital for the mums because we need the mummies to have their babies on them 24 hours.
They've helped us quite a lot. They always had to donate little caps, jerseys. The material was given to us. We've made quite a bit of it.
During the year, I visit on and off with the knitted garments that is done by the Dorcas ladies and other members of the church. We do a Christmas party for Coronation Hospital. We give each child, each baby, each child, a brand new toy. You know, we just try our very best to, and it spreads. I mean, you just actually can't keep up with what you can do. And our failing is the funding. The funding is a big problem because the children that are living in Soweto or the areas who aren't connected into a home are actually supporting themselves. Everything's a miracle. I mean, you just look at the love and the care that those nurses and doctors give to those children. If you can give them some love and some comfort and just the way they say thank you to you, it's such a delight. I don't need reward. That is my reward.